Hello everybody, this is Cyric 1983 and welcome back to the Trade of Blades. Alright, let's hire Dalen here and learn about him.
Greetings. I see you are not yet infected by the plague that ravages Neverwinter. Among such suffering and misery, we who are not yet afflicted must be grateful for our health.
Who are you? I am Dalen Red Tiger of the Uthgardt tribes of the Frozen North, but it has been over a year since I left my people and came to Neverwinter. Now I earn my living as a blade for hire. Quite well spoken for a half-orc. My father was an orc, and the blood of his inhuman race is in my veins, but I was raised by my mother among the tribes of the Uthgardt. I'm sorry, but I don't know much about the Uthgardt tribes. There are some in the city who call my people savages and barbarians, but they know nothing of the Uthgardt. We are great warriors and hunters, following the herds and living off the land. My tribe is noble but small. Among them there was little chance for a young warrior to prove himself or earn a wife. But I am young and strong, and my people are renowned for their skill in battle. Here in Neverwinter, I found work on the docks as a guard for the cargo and shipments being transported. Then what happened? And the coming of the plague changed everything. The quarantine halted all incoming or outgoing ships. There was no work and no money. I should have left the docks then. Many of the dock workers were afflicted, many I'd come to know as friends. I stayed to ease their suffering, but in the end I could do nothing to save them from the wailing death. With my friends dead, there was no reason to stay in the docks, not with things getting worse. Now I earn a living with my axe as a freelance mercenary. What did you mean about the docks getting worse? Quarantine trapped ships in port, swelling the number of pirates and other criminals in the district, men with no honor. And with the city guard focused on the plague, these evil men have seized control of the docks. An Uthgardt warrior knows no fear, but I will not dishonor my tribe. I refuse to serve these men. I will not become a common thug or murderer. Anything else you can tell me about the docks? Before I left, I heard talk in the district of an auction to be held at Jim Seedy's tavern, something besides the usual stolen merchandise, illegal goods, and helpless slaves sold at his filthy den of sin. The word spread quickly on the street. Perhaps I could have learned more before I left, but I had no interest in such transactions. I am a warrior, not a smuggler. There's little else I can tell you about the docks, but I know the district is dangerous. If you intend to go there, you will be wise to take along a hired blade. Actually, I'm looking for some hired help to assist me in my mission. And then you just go through the same spiel and persuade, and alright, so I'll keep trying to persuade him, and then I'll be back when I succeed. Well, that was quick. It only took 2 tries. Alright, 225, deal. Awesome. There we go. So we got Dalen. So yeah, I'll just teleport, use the Stone of Recall to tell back to the Temple of Tyr, drop Dalen off, and I'll meet you right back at the front door of the Trade of Blades. Alrighty, I'm back. Alright, yeah, Grax here, he is not a henchman, but he will have a use for me later on in the game. He's represents a particular place in another district, so there we go. I'll be using it, but not right now. So, loot that while I'm here, and let's talk to Body Knock next.
Hello there. You don't have the look of one of those Neverwinter soldiers about you. Neither do you show any evidence of having contracted the plague.
But you have a certain bearing about you that distinguishes you from the ordinary citizen. Based on my observations, I'd venture the hypothesis that you are an adventurer, correct? You're right, I am an adventurer. My name is Kel Davis. Who are you? I am Buddy Knock-Glinkall, a gnome sorcerer from the island of Lantan, who has only recently arrived here in Neverwinter. Lantan, isn't that the place where all those crazy inventions come from? My homeland does have a reputation for producing marvelous machines and outlandish contraptions not otherwise known in Faerun. We Lantanese are a people guided by the analytical principles of science, observation, reason, and logic. But don't allow yourself to be misled by rumors and hearsay. We aren't all kooky inventors as some would have you believe. I myself am a sorcerer, for example. Sorcerer? I thought Lantan looked down on magic. The Lantanese people do not disparage magic, though many do not understand it. However, in my land, we rely on the arcane far less than the other peoples of Faerun. We prefer to seek a scientific solution to a problem rather than a magical one. Often through observation and experimentation, a problem can be solved without resorting to magecraft. Of course, sometimes a little touch of the arcane is a good thing. When the situation is appropriate, I do not hesitate to use my powers, Kel. I may be from Lantan, but I am first and foremost a sorcerer. What are you doing in Neverwinter? I left my home some time ago to experience the broader world. It is not uncommon for the people of my island to undertake such a journey. I was exploring the northern Sword Coast when I heard rumblings of a previously unknown plague breaking out in Neverwinter. In the name of scientific discovery, I came to investigate and catalog the new illness. Fortunately, I arrived before the city was quarantined. I decided to begin my investigations of the Wailing Death in the Beggar's Nest. Why the Beggar's Nest? From the accounts I gathered, it was generally agreed that the Beggar's Nest was where the outbreak began. I thought the best way to learn about the plague was to trace it back to its root source. And when I learned the clerics were unable to combat the plague, I thought that I could apply the scientific principles of Lantern to discover a more mundane cure. Unfortunately, I had to end my investigations into the Beggar's Nest mere days after they began, far too short a time to conduct a proper study of the situation. Why did you stop your investigations? It is difficult to conduct a serious and scientific analysis when you are constantly besieged by zombies. Much as I wanted to continue my research, I was not about to throw my life away to do it. However, the zombie infestation struck me as more than a coincidence. I suspect there may be more than a casual relationship between the animated corpses in the district and the outbreak of the plague itself. While the zombies continue to wander the district, I cannot test my theory, but I suspect information that could lead to a cure can be found within the Beggar's Nest. Actually, I'm looking for some hired help to assist me on my mission. And then you gotta go through the usual stuff here, and persuade, and damn, alright, so I'll be back when I got him to succeed. Alright, there we go. 225, deal, awesome. Alright, so I do the same thing as with Dalen, transport back to the Temple of Tyr, and I'll meet you right back at the Trail of Blades. Alright, and the second last henchman, but the last one we get out of here, so let's talk to Linu.
Please now, I already told you that I didn't mean to step on your cat. It ran right in front. Oh, you're not that other one.
Oh goodness, how embarrassing. Why does this always happen to me? Who are you? Before I tell you anything about me, I would like to ask you a question, if you don't mind. Go ahead. You're not one of those dirty, underhanded, conniving thief types, are you? No, I'm not. Why do you ask? I've had nothing but problems with the irritating, despisable thieves ever since I left, but that's not important right now. Let me introduce myself. Okay. My name is Linu Lanero, a devout priest of Sainin Moonbow. I seek to continue my adventures by harrying myself out as a healer. Why are you here in the barracks rather than helping the plague victims? I came to this city believing that I could stem the tide of this plague with the powers of Sainin. Alas, it defied my every attempt to find a cure. I worked long, hard hours in the Temple of Tyr, trying to alleviate the pain of the sick. Finally, after working through several days and nights, I was exhausted. When I tried to stand, I fainted. Then what happened? Well, I fell over and bumped into a glass statue of the symbol of Tyr. One of the balance plates flew across the room and smashed spectacularly right above the head of the high priest. The crash was so shocking that the priest sat down right on top of one of the large shards of glass. I'm sure it healed up just fine once I stripped him and pulled it out. I was unhurt, but the other priests didn't seem too concerned about that at the time. They asked me to find somewhere else to help with the wounded, as if it was my fault somehow. Oh, well, that could have happened to anyone. You were kind to say so, but I suppose it didn't help that I had accidentally lit the altar on fire the previous day. Are you really that clumsy? I'm not really clumsy, I was just tired. My troubles don't come from a lack of dexterity so much as poor timing. Don't worry, I'm good in a fight and an excellent healer. Each day I've been assisting victims of the plague in the slums of the Black Lake district, where they lie in the street ignored by the residents and guards alike. That's good of you. Well, not anymore. The last time I visited there was a couple of days ago. I was attempting to help a sick old woman off the street when I was set upon by several thugs. They attacked you while you were helping the plague victims? People are terribly discouraged because they figure they are going to catch the Wailing Death, so they aren't overly concerned with morals. In their desperation, they turn to theft or worse. I want to go back and help, but what can I do? I think that if I could earn some more experience, and maybe some gold, I might be able to make a difference. Do you know anything else about the Black Lake district? Some of the rich nobles have collected exotic animals and made a zoo for their entertainment. The conditions of the zoo are supposed to be disgusting, and the animals have been mistreated. I should have done something about it, but the sick and dying in the city are enough misery for anyone. I heard there's a druid here in the court who is looking for someone to help free the animals. If you want to go to the Black Lake district, you will have to cross the slums. Plenty of looters would like to stick a knife in you, so having someone who can guard your back and heal your wounds is a good idea. What I need is someone to assist me on a mission. I want to trust you and I need the work, but I really don't care to be involved in any shady deals. Perhaps you could tell me more about this mission? I work for Lady Airbeth and must find several... Yeah, and then just tell her. And then go through that again, and awesome, first try. Awesome. Sweet. Alright, so I might as well teleport now, because that's the last one I need to hire from the Trade of Blades, and they're all in the Temple of Tyr now, so it's a great deal more convenient than they were for me to change them up, and I'll be a bit better on my own, and awesome. Alright, so that only leaves Tommy Undergallows to go, and he will be the my main henchman for a few areas of the game, so I'll be talking to him next time. And actually, despite all the background information you got from your henchmen, each one of them has their own story that as a side quest that they can give you an enchanted item, and some of them are pretty damn useful, so I'm going to be doing that as well, getting all 6 of them. And yeah, so I'll start learning their stories of what they hope to accomplish next time. This is Syric 1983 signing off. Have a good one.